It's basically things you should never ever do in a Ghanaian in a Ghanaian university.
Okay, Cherry Coco, thank you for coming. I appreciate you for coming back. How is it going with the post-athon? If you ask me, I'll tell you. Anyway, I hope you've liked this video. If you have not, kindly give it a like and don't forget to subscribe if you have not. I didn't prepare for this video, but I'm doing research I was checking out something else when I bumped into this particular video of a Nigerian student, a Nigerian lady that schooled in Ghana. So let me just call her a former student of KNUST. And in this video, she was talking about the do's and don'ts as an international student in Ghana, or as a student in general, as a student in Ghana. So things that you must never do. And here I am watching this video and looking at it, like every single thing she talked about in that video that is prohibited here in Ghana is actually practiced back at home. Some of my family members are still at home. They can't get into school because sorting. Nobody is sorting. I mean, the sorting. We'll get into that. Let's listen to this babe first. Oh, please, if you're a Nigerian, it's okay. The comment section is there. Make use of it. But remember, I might come back with the same energy. So give me what you would like to take, because I'll come back with that same energy.
So number one is never sort. Never. Don't fall for it. Don't you ever try it. In Nigeria, we call it sort, but what I mean by sort is paying money to a lecturer, paying money to a teaching assistant, or anybody to help you pass your exams. That is what they call sorts, basically. Don't try it, because first of all, sometimes it's actually a trick. Sometimes it's actually someone doing research. Also, I believe there's a penalty for it by the Ghanaian constitution. Don't ever try it. You and the lecturer that was sorted will be in trouble and will be thrown out of the school. Literally. Don't try it. Number two is exam malpractice.
Let's talk about the number one first, my darling. So you guys, that number one, there is no how I will not talk about it. I'm not going to mention any school, but somewhere in Wakanda. Now, I did not mention a country. Somewhere in Wakanda Republic, somewhere in the world. Do you know that somewhere in the world, some of us have our family members still at home because we do not want to sort, or we do not have the money to sort? Yes. Please, I want somebody to know this. If you know where I'm from, you can guess. I did not call any country, but there is a school somewhere in Wakanda right now. If you like, pass your exam, but you see that 500,000, the currency of that country money, 500,000, you are to bring it as a bribe for them to admit you into that school, qualified or not qualified. You are supposed to pay that money. I did not mention a school, Biko, and I did not mention any country. I said Wakanda. I did not call any country before you come and ask me to prove it, because even if I prove it, nothing will still be done. So do you know that some people, some young people, potential pharmacists, some brilliant future pharmacists and medical doctors are at home right now, not because they cannot afford their school fees, but they cannot afford, but it is because they cannot or do not want to bribe their way. Now, I have told one of them, I told the mother, when you are tired, you would dance with the beats, because by the time you see that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, your daughter is still in the house and the rest are already in year 3, and it's the same route that they took, you will have no choice but to take it. So she even went to another school and said, oh, that one, she said the governor of that state is a reverend father. Hey, you can guess the state. I did not mention any. She said, okay, that one there is integrity is intact. He wouldn't allow that to happen in the uni of that state. I said, okay, good luck to you, Sissy. So we are waiting. Let's see, because the child has applied in that state to study there. Hopefully she's given admission on merit, based on merit. Anyway, let's move to the second part. It's getting dirty.
Let me just tell you now, if that's on your mind, forget about it, because if they catch you, my own is that because most of the time for KNUST, they bring lecturers from a different department altogether. So the man doesn't know you, doesn't care. In fact, he's even angry. And then all he has to do is just write something on your paper. And my brothers and sisters, that is the end of the story. That is where the curtain closed on top of your matter, because it can be taken to the exam board. They may scrap out your paper. You may have to take the exam again. Just don't do it. People get away with it, but don't do it. Another thing is skip school.
Yeah, we are coming to the number 3, but let's talk about the number 2. The second point. Y'all, what are you saying? What? Malpractice? If a lecturer in Wakanda caught you and that lecturer even take action against you, do you know that if that student is from a rich and powerful home, that lecturer might be sacked? So even when a lecturer has integrity or exam officer has integrity, but because the system is not built for that, they will just play along. Because if they stand up against it, it will become a problem on them. So for Wakanda, then they do them well. And this is why you see people who goes to school outside of, I almost mentioned the country, gets employed first before anyone that graduates from that country. Those that goes to school, those that went to school in Canada, Ghana, the UK, the US, or other parts of the world, they get accepted, they get job placements before the people that schooled in Wakanda. This is why because I know my chip and my chip knows me. You know you are guilty of something. You want something quality, but you can't get it there. So it has to be imported, for it to make sense. Now you know why, right? Anyway, let's move to the third.
Necessarily skip school. You just stay. You don't want to go to school. You just stay in your house, especially in days when you have quizzes and tests. Now there are some lecturers that will never ever tell you that there's a quiz today, there's a whatever today. Aside the regular mid-semester and all that jazz, there's also a mark given for attendance. It's not much, but for some lecturers, based on that that tells them whether or not you're a very serious student. In case anything goes wrong during the exam or anything, most of the time the attendance is looked at and like, okay, this person is a serious person. Something must have happened. King Kong. Also, those people that usually use "I'm sick," "I was sick," "somebody is sick," I feel ill. All the English language used for that description, you have to show a doctor's report to your lecturer. At least I know from my school, this is what happens. This is what they do. You have to bring a doctor's report. Now, when you fake the sickness and you now miss the exam, the mid-semester or whatever, which doctor are you going to meet to give you a doctor's report? Who has that kind of time to fake a doctor's report and give you? Just avoid it and try to go for as many classes as you can. Okay? Is that all right? Another thing will be, don't do drugs. I believe this applies in every school in the world. Don't do drugs. When they catch you, you're going to the police, you are going to the force, you're going to the law enforcement people.
Well, before we talk about the RUG part of our video, let's talk about the skipping school. We have a lot of graduates that don't even attend classes in Wakanda. They don't. You and I, if you are from Wakanda, you can attest to this. They can be away from school for like a month. Some of them only just come back to the school to write their exam, whatever they write. Our number one part will play a role in it to get them to get the grades that they need. So people, as long as we have money, all things are possible. You can miss school. Not all, we have intelligent people from Wakanda that genuinely went to school and they studied. So, but some people like the Yahoo boys and the Yahoo boys sounds like a country somewhere. Please, I didn't call any country, but you have people who do that. They'll be away from school for months. Consign them. The lecturer will cover them up. Money day. Anyway, at the end of the day, you think you're doing somebody, but you're not doing anybody. And we must produce graduates that cannot even make a point, and then when you greet them, good morning, they'll tell you, I went to so and so university. I'm a graduate of so and so. Bro, I didn't ask you. I'm only asking you to carry out a simple task and then bring your common sense to the table. Let me see how it functions. I will be able to tell if you went to school or not. Still on that point, in the month of March, I went to Akosombo with a fellow YouTuber and I pleaded with my niece to stay home for 1 week. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what I went through. Now, I made her stay home because there was really nothing going on that much in school. But you know what? What the school put me through, I don't want to repeat it again. I don't want. And that was why we fixed my dad's funeral to the Easter holiday period, where my niece will be home to take care of the younger ones while I'm away. Because I don't want to face that school again and tell them this girl couldn't come to school for a week. I know what what that school made me go through. Me, Lillian, that hate to write. I was asked to write to the school. Oh my God. And I should, oh my God, because I was supposed to lie to them that she's sick. But see, some of us, we don't have energy for that. I just straight up told them I went out for work and she won't be in school for a week. I know what I went through and I don't want to repeat it. So let's move to the other part. Now, she's talking about not doing the RUG. I don't think there's anywhere in the world that permits people to do it. So including Wakanda too, they do not do that. That's a good one. Let's skip that to the next.
If you are found with any substance, you are gone. Here's your case. You are gone. And if you're a Nigerian or from any country, they most likely deport you because, you know, they can't handle your matter. But they will deport you, sure. The final thing will be never cause unnecessary violence. Do not cause harm to fellow students. Don't go and carry bottle and bust person head because you're not a mad person. I believe this happened in my brother's year where somebody tried to be violent and carried King Kong. He was deported to Nigeria the next day. Uncle was deported the next day because you can't come to somebody else's country and be constituting nuisance. He was sent away, and that is the end of your school fees. Everything has gone. Stop. So don't follow this category. If you're coming to Ghana to school, be level-headed, have sense. Don't come and behave like, oh, home away from home. Calm yourself down. Be calming down.
Be coming down. Oh, when you're at home, the reason why people are able to get away with so much back at home is because there's no way to deport them to. I believe they would have also been deported or something. So there's no way to send them to. So they allow them there. You can do whatever you like. You can wake up and just beat a neighbor of yours, especially that woman that is single. You beat her up. You see a lot of young single ladies just wanting to be married to avoid being harassed by their male neighbors or family members. You know, they need a man to protect them, so they just marry anybody, just be there. Even if the man is abusive, they'll just manage it at least. Now you are being faced with harassment from maybe one person. That is if you are not lucky. But if you are lucky, you get a good man that will protect you. So it is a crazy world out there. But I do not have the right to say it because I am not a Wakandan enough. I just want to play it here. So if you're from other countries, if you're a Nigerian coming to school in Ghana, please be level-headed and obey the rules, abide by the rules, and behave yourself. Okay? Ghana is a good place to study. 4 years is 4 years, 5 years is 5 years, 7 years is 7 years. Insecurity is on the low. The environment is conducive for you to study and come out with good grades if you have the financial support from home. You don't have any problem schooling in Ghana as a Nigerian or anywhere you're from. We have come to the end of today's video. I'll see you in my next one. Don't forget to like, share as we go on this post-a-thon.